Friend, want that faithful and committed love that is forever loyal and trustworthy? Can you see that person just catering to you, making it all about you, and you just there, everything? Well, great, because you're tuned in into the right station. Because I'm about to paint some stuff on your imagination. Mad Painter here. And today we will be discussing, well, I will be discussing the secrets to getting the love you want, raising your attraction levels, and learning to develop growing relationships. So grab your pen and piece of paper. Feel free to rewind after you watch this because it's going to be a few things that we're going to need to process here. And before we even get to it, I'm gonna let you know I'm not even about to BS you here. I'm gonna get right to the root of to right in the beginning here. I'm gonna put it on the table. The very thing you desire, you must become. Now don't change the station, friend. Hear me out, cause I got a lot of juicy bits to talk about here. Why? Why am I saying that you must become this? One, you have to know what it costs as far as money, time, energy, and whatever resources that it requires to please you. So you have to know what it costs on your own, out your pocket, out your time and energy doing this for you so that you'll know what you're asking of another person. And then when it gets to the point when you know you're not asking it for too much because you'll provide it for yourself, but still that's a lot. Because don't forget that first thing we wanted in the beginning, friend. We can't forget that. Two, know what it takes to do all of these things and still be present right here, listening to this person, loving on them and everything. Because that's a lot. That costs a lot. And so we want to know, what it's really costing for the things that we're asking for. Because we want to get the love we want, right? Right. So if you've tried any of those things, we just going to go to them first questions as far as the faithfulness, the commitment, the loyalty, the all that goodness there. We're not going to even talk about catering to nobody right now. We're just going to talk about being loyal, faithful, trustworthy, all that. I'm not about to play no games with you or point no fingers. Didn't I tell you I wasn't going to be at you in the beginning? It's hard doing that. It's hard doing that, friend. I mean, it's hard. I've tried, and I mean, even in doing these videos stuff, friend. Well, I'm gonna get to this later because it's a consistency thing, and I'm foreplay, friend. Foreplay. We gotta take our time, go slow. This is the things that we're keeping in mind because you're working on being better at this thing. You're gonna become the love that you want. So if you try any of these things, you realize it's hard to do. Not even to mention you doing all of those things while being patient, kind, without envy, without boasting, without dishonoring others, without self-seeking, without easily being angered, without keeping a record of the wrong somebody is doing. I just had to let that marinate for a little bit because it's somewhere on the list. It's like, dang. I check off right there. I check off right there. Don't trip, friend. I check it off too. Where did I leave off at? Without keeping record of wrong, that's where I left off at. Without delighting in evil, but rejoicing in truth. Now that's a togetherness. Because sometimes we act like we can rejoice in truth, but it's still we're including some of them others that's on the list, friend. We gotta listen to how we talking. We gotta listen to how we talk. This is why you gotta take yourself out and spend that money, time, and energy and see how you talking to yourself. And also, while always protecting, trusting, hoping, and persevering. Good Lord, that's a lot to remember. It is a lot to remember. And this is why we're not loving from the mind. We are loving from the being. And friend, it take work. It take work. And how we go about loving from the being is that we're opening ourselves to learn about God. Because friend, it take work. and trying to do that stuff, you can do all the self-learning all you want to. You're just going to miss out on something. You're going to be short somewhere. It's going to be, oh, because you're thinking all this stuff is all in your own power. And it's heavy, friend. It's real heavy. But then when we had a situation with God, we see how he loves us. We experience this love. It's so the tap in part. Now I realized that video because I'm recording next week's video today on the day the video dropped as far as in tapping in. And even though I'm going outside of my notes, in this tapping in, just keep in mind, I'm going outside my notes because I'm going to get back to my notes, but I feel the need to go ahead and say this. You know how they say the whole God is within you and you're tapping in, along with what I mentioned with the Christ consciousness, and actually analyzing that tapping in. You are being completely vulnerable. And the first part of tapping in within yourself, because it does start with you, in having the hard talks, in being in a place where you are willing to hear from yourself the truth. And once you are opening up yourself to the truth, now you're kind of preparing your ears to hear the truth. But as we're opening up to God, we're also we're being real with him. We're giving him what's on our heart. We're being thankful. Wherever we have been feeling funny about, we know we done something wrong, ask for forgiveness. But the inside situation, as far as you looking within, is because he's going to answer within. And this whole taking time out to study him is because we want to get to know his language. It's not a situation where forever, for the entire time of your life that you're in this relationship with God, you're questioning, is that you? Is that you? Was that you talking to me? No, you want to know his voice. That is the point of this intimacy. Because when you get to know his voice and in connection with his word, because there are a lot of people who use his word, but in knowing the truth and love of his voice and knowing what he spoke to you right now, you'll know when that stuff is off. So back to my notes, because he will answer you on the inside. When we are asking things of God, a lot of times when we are asking things, it's outward things, material things. But God gives you something on the inside. Because when it's all this turmoil and stuff going on and he promised you peace and joy in the midst of the storm, baby, that is an inside thing. An inside. And when it happens in here, even though it's chaos happening out here, you can still shine that light amidst all that chaos. Okay, now back to my notes. So when your eyes are open, you learn different. And then you start to see different. You start to see that people, you're no different from anyone else. We all have our weaknesses. We all have these uniquenesses. And you kind of see that, and it's not even you kind of see. No, it becomes wide-eyed open. You see that, man, people mess up. People are going to be people. And just like people mess up, you mess up too. And this is where this forgiveness and appreciation comes in at. Because you learn to look at life differently. You're not constantly looking at the lack situation, but you get to a place where you are thankful for everything that you have. Thankful for the things that weren't given to you, because you could have gotten a whole lot. It's like, well, thank you, I didn't get locked up. Thank you, they ain't bust me on that drug charge. Thank you, they ain't impound my car. Yes, I said what I said. I'm just saying. It's a lot we can be thankful for. But that doesn't mean I meant what I said. I was just speaking in thankfulness for somebody else. I had to throw that out there because I know how people get back to researching old stuff. So, but And so, as we're in this place, I want you to think about a prayer closet. Now, you can actually have, because we're going to this imagination station, friend, you can actually have a physical prayer closet. But I want you to now go in this imagination. And if you've ever played in a closet, like hide and seek with a friend or something, and you hid in the closet and you were being real quiet, or if you were doing a kissing game, I mean, we're gonna be 100, and they had you going for 7 minutes of heaven or something like that. I just watched it on TV. But you go in the closet and you, or pretend like you kissing, but y'all in there whispering and doing whatever. This is the type of intimacy that you want to have with God. You want to have a space where you're able to focus on Him. It can be an open space. It can be out in nature. It can be wherever you need to be able to focus on God. So in this focus time, it's the full attention on Him. You want to think of this like a giving and receiving. And you going to God, you are asking for forgiveness. You're thanking Him for whatever it is that you're thankful for. Thanking Him for even being able to hear you. And giving Him your all. The other part of this, we want to take time and listen, because this is part of the receiving. You want to receive what it is that He has to say to you, to show you, whatever it is. I mean, it's just awesome. I can't just say, this is exactly what God does. I mean, as far as the peace and joy thing, but that's like, can't really give you a description on that. He could show you better, way better than I can tell you. And this is why we're talking about this, because when you experience these things in these tough times, and this is, if you've watched my page, this is why I often talk about Job, because God is from a spiritual place. And us getting into this relationship, we are getting to know a spiritual language. So think of Jesus like the translator, because He had came to this realm and is also connected to that realm. And with this relationship, if you choose to go further with it, brings this alignment. So it's a straight connection to the heavenly realm. I mean, you got so many people wanting to know the future, wanting to know this, and wanting to be able to do this, that, and the other. You got the authority to forgive and the ability to love. And here you have an opportunity to, one, experience a heavenly love, and then give a divine love, a divine experience love. And friend, that go on levels, because baby, you could be married right now. You looking to take that hot spot to an even hotter spot. Now I mean hot down there, but I mean hot like down there. And it's like, God is the one who created these things. We have to stop excluding Him and stuff and acting like, ew, that's dirty. How you think you got here? I don't care if you is a test tube, baby. They still use some type of sperm and egg. I just marinate on that, but include God in on these things. He is the creator. The thing that we have to get is things just been perverted. And so we want to know, like, how does He see this love thing? How does He see this business, this situation, this relationship? Me, you know? So in this praying and being thankful for things, you're giving Him your attention. And you're receiving Him. You're receiving His word. You're receiving His love. You're getting to know Him. Friend, we be out here dating and be all in la la land, looking at what somebody can give us and not listening to another word they saying. Not listening to nothing. And they done sat there and told you, I'm a low down, dirty so-and-so. I'm gonna rob you, your kids, your mama, your everybody. And you ain't heard nothing. So we gotta get to a place where we're cleaning our ears out. Not so busy chasing after our desires, But when we get in this relationship, because this thing is about knowing the desires of God, and we are involving our spiritual self and our mental self as we are in this relationship. And so you want to take God with you. You want to be able to have this as an all day thing, and not like, okay, I just see you on this day at this time for this many hours. Like, when you experience this love and him talking to you, and then when you see his word being played out, it's, friend, it's not a thing where, okay, I did this, I've been there, done that, and we good, we cool. Would you want to be married to somebody and they married you 10 years ago and there hasn't been any real interaction, you haven't grown, nothing has developed from it? And even if that's happening right now, what's stopping you from making a change? And so, now this is some stuff I hadn't even planned. Now I get we can be in relationships and working on making, like, oh, I want to get with God now. Please talk to your partner. If your partner is for it, if your partner isn't for it, but talk to them first. As if this is something that they are not in agreement with, but you feel deep down inside this is something that you need to do. Do not beat your partner upside the head. This is a thing where you're constantly keeping in communication with God, because you and that person are still one. And it's like you beating yourself upside the head. You want God to show you love like that. So it's a lot to be considered here. And all that whole list I just read, yeah, again, that's hard to keep the memory in, even though you could memorize the mess out that scripture and know it front to back, left to right. But it has to become you. This is, we are getting this in us, embedded in our heart. And how we go about this is studying God, getting to know him spiritually and mentally, putting this wisdom inside of us. And as we're putting this wisdom inside of us and taking time out to read on our own, we also want to be open to listen to people who are in relationship with God. The reason why I keep saying in relationship with God, doing this Christ walk, because you have a lot of people who send me your money, I'm going to make you feel guilty, you about to be all caught up in your feelings. Oh, I may be talking about God, but I'm really talking about his method and his ways, which we just going to use these secret techniques, but we're not going to actually talk to God and see if this is cool for us to do this. And so this is how we want to get to know God for ourselves and see how he really is. And that takes time. It takes time. This is not a thing where you swiping left or swiping right. Like, yeah, I'm located 3-4 blocks down the street, I know you're going to give me that bootay. No, it's not like that. Not at all. And you will even appreciate that, because this is what's going to shift your desires, shift your attractions. Because all that stuff, like, let's just say in whatever it was that you were interested in, and you want this particular person to do this for you and to spend this time with you or whatever, you'll start to see how much that stuff costs, and you're not going to be all willy-nilly to invest in everybody like that. Even if it's just something where you're going now, like, I'm just out here to play the field, do the game, man, still take God with you. I'm not here to be like, well, you shouldn't. I mean, but it's still a thing, like, take him with you. Pray about everything. Because especially in it might be one of them times where you prayed all them other times and you ain't hear nothing from God. God ain't really moved or said nothing about nothing. And you kind of, okay. But that next time it was like, no. And you heard it and felt it and all that stuff. Yeah, bro. Yeah, sis. Don't ignore it. Do not ignore it. And so take them with you everywhere. And so we have to keep in mind that, okay, yes, stuff is going to hit the fan once you kind of change direction and be like, this is what I want to do. Because opposition and the devil and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, devil might not. He might be busy. But I'm just saying, he might be busy trying to mess with you too. Because you might have been a soldier for him. And he might be like, oh, no, you ain't going that route. And so, yeah, stuff will hit the fan. But this is why we read all them different people in the Bible. Because we have Paul. A lot of stuff was hitting the fan with Paul. And it took me some time to understand Paul. But boy, once I understood Paul, it was like, bro, I get you now. I get the whole prisoner situation. I feel you pacing right now. Because it's like, I keep trying to tell y'all. And so we want to keep in mind that God has plans and purpose for us. Because when stuff hit the fan and when we receive these words from him, us being reminded of what he promises us is what not only gives us a sensitivity to his voice, it also gives us a strength. And he has no problem with you calling him trust friend, trust, because all day long I be like, Lord help me, Lord help me, Lord help me. Thank you that I'm not getting on your nerves, constantly asking you for help. So ask him for help. Ask him for help. Anytime you are weak, he's going to give you strength. He's going to make you strong. This relationship is amazing, friend. It's amazing. So when you learn to trust God, because this is how this trust builds, and you getting to know him and see that he's not lying to you. He guides you. He protects you. He provides for you. It's so much to that list. Now, again, I ain't going to even BS you here. Especially in starting. I don't even want to say especially in starting off. This is a growing thing. It's not going to be how you expect. That could be good or bad. But it's not going to be how you expect. But he has a way of surprising you. He has a way of, even if you didn't get what you want when you want, when you invite him in and let him like, okay, you know I wanted this. I need help with that. So can you help me? And it's like, he shows up. And so we want to get to know his word, because as we read his word, ask him questions, listen and pray. As we read his word and process it, it processes us. Take time out to write scriptures out. Take time out when you ask God questions. Write those questions out so when he answers it, you'll know. So it won't be a thing like, now, I know I needed this. I've been waiting on this all day. And it's just like this thankfulness. And this is where the development part of the relationship comes in at. Because we want to get to a place where we are being thankful. And when we get to this place and being thankful for God, it makes you be thankful with other people. Baby, when you are appreciative to your partner, do you know how much that makes them want to give you more? So look at where here it is where you're the very thing that you want, you've become, and now you're able to give them attention, be present with them, be creative with ideas when you're thinking of dating or thinking of even in the house things or whatever, whether you're broke or rich, you're able to show this person, baby, I love you. And I'm about to do it up for you. Even if it's doing it up in nature or doing it up extravagantly. But when you're learning how to go through this love and be processed by God, you'll be able to, my goodness, it's creative. He's amazing. He's the creator. So the things that he can put in you is just, dear Lord Jesus, this is why this is like a walk you want to experience. It's levels to this thing. You think you knew something. It's like, no, I'm going to show you something else. And it's like, whoa. So it's another thing that just came to me as far as in God. So it's like this shepherd situation, father situation. You got the counselor, you got the reaping and the sowing, but God gives the increase. This is a whole dependency on God. Learning to be in tune, aligned, and sensitive to God. So we can learn this from Adam and Eve. They was the Adams before he even named her Eve. This is what happens when you're not in alignment with God. You just kind of willy-nilly go on to what you want and just kind of forget the whole thing. But it still works out. It still works out for God's glory. But we want to, we want it to be for our good as well. And this is in us keeping in alignment with God and getting this discernment from him, because we're in his word. We're constantly being in every day tapping into this wisdom. We're being filled with this wisdom, and as we're being filled with this wisdom and leaving ourselves open to receive from God, God builds on the wisdom that he gives you, because he opens your eyes to other things. He has you hearing certain things different. Again, this sensitivity. And at the same time, he's making you stronger. So along with all these different titles, you're also a soldier. So in all of these different titles, you're receiving instruction. We have to get to a place where we're first sitting down and getting to know. We're so quick to do. That leaves us with a bunch of poo. So let's just chill out for a minute and take our time to get to know him. There's no rush for anything. He has a way of working things out, because we have to remember he has a purpose and a plan for our lives. So as we're taking time to get to know him, when I tell you that now and suddenly, I don't know when it's going to happen. I don't know, how you all's relationship has been developing or however that goes. But it's 1 minute like you didn't know, and the next minute with that now and suddenly, he reveals something to you. It's like, whoa, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. So you want to get into this thing, because this is an amazing thing. And I didn't went kind of longer on this video, but we're going to keep going. Changing. We're changing what you require of your partner. Now, as we get more into God and getting more into knowing him and how he sees us and his plan and purpose for our life, we get more in tune with our purpose, what our mission is here. The more you get in tune with your purpose and your mission, you will start to see how making your partner, even wanting them to have the desire of you being their everything, it will help you see how, one, heavy that is, and two, how selfish that is. Because when God gives you this mission that you're working on, this is why you want to have, one, your alignment with God. Then whoever your partner is, you want them to have a relationship too with God. So that way when you two get together, it's not a thing where it's what I want or what you want. It's about what God wants and what he's purposed the us of that situation. And it's bigger than anything you can ask, think, or imagine. So you first want to find this out with you. So then when you hook up with this person, it's not going to keep being that question like, are you the one who I'm supposed to do this with? No, you going to know because you've talked to God about it and he done shown you some things and confirmed some things. And it's like, aha. And it's like, that whole work. I've heard people say, you got to put work in marriage. Well, in working different jobs, there are some jobs that I just hated going to every single day. And it was like, Lord, help me. But then there are other jobs like, okay, people will be peopling, and you might have some days where it's like, oh, they were really peopling today. But you love the job. And it's like every morning you wake up ready to go, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And so when you have work jobs that you actually like and appreciate, it can kind of give you an idea that there are marriages, there are people that they may have their bumps in the road, their hard times, but they love each other. Like, they wouldn't give it up for nothing in the world, not because they were just too lazy to be with somebody else. Like, that's their person. Like, they love this person. This they best friend. So it's like, man, you want to experience that first with the Creator, and know that you can experience this thing, because the things that He has to show you and the things that He's planned and purposed you for, you want to know what these things are, and you want to experience the amazing love that He has for you. Because we may have thought many a times that God didn't love us, many a times, but once you get in His Word and you find out the things that He promises you, and apply this wisdom, because it also takes for you to apply these things and keep including Him in on your decisions and your walk and just everyday talk, and just a thank you, like, I love you, like, because this is preparing you for your person, and this is preparing you for your being, for you to really get the love that you want and experience it. I love you guys. God loves you even more. Find out why. You gotta sit down, take time, and get to know Him, because He already know you. Get to know Him. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.